What does a successful team comprise? A successful team is made up of different skills, personalities, and experiences. A strong team doesn't just comprise people who are good at the same things. Instead, it brings together a variety of talents and strengths that allow the group to work together towards a common goal. A good team might comprise a leader who can make decisions, team members who are creative thinkers, and others who excel at organizing tasks. It might also comprise people who have different backgrounds, allowing them to bring new ideas and solutions to problems. When forming a team, it's important to consider the mix of people. A team that comprises only one type of personality might struggle to make decisions or be flexible in their approach. A well-balanced team, however, comprises individuals with various skills, from communication to technical expertise. In business, the success of a project often comprises hard work, collaboration, and good planning. A great team can create amazing results, and each individual's role is crucial in achieving the overall objective. Understanding how to bring the right people together and what they can comprise is key to building a high-performing team. Title: The Curse of Black Hood Island. Many years ago, I became acquainted with a strange story told by the inhabitants of a remote island. The tale was not written in any official publication, but passed down by word of mouth, like a riddle no one could solve. The island, known as Black Hood Island, was believed to be cursed. A long time ago, a pirate captain named Redfang buried his treasure deep in the ground near an old cemetery. He placed a terrible curse on anyone who tried to steal it. They said the earth around the treasure would rot, and the creatures of the island would come alive at night to protect it. I traveled there shortly after hearing the tale, armed only with a map and a flashlight. The place was dark and silent, with the cold wind blowing under my hood. The trees looked like skeletons, their bare branches reaching out like fingers. As I walked, I saw signs that something had spoiled the land. No plants grew there, and the animals had vanished. The locals warned me not to go near the treasure. They feared the wicked spirit of the pirate still guarded it. That night, I was thrilled and terrified when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned quickly and saw a figure in disguise, dressed in pirate clothes. Was it a ghost, or just someone playing a trick? I couldn't tell. I spent the night in a small hut, trying to nourish myself with the little food I had. But I was close to starving. I fancied a big meal, but all I had were dry crackers. The next morning, I gave up the search. Some curses are better left untouched. As I left the island, I realized that not all fancy adventures end with treasure, sometimes they end with survival. Title: The Disguise of the Wicked Creature. Professor Elwin had always been acquainted with strange legends, but nothing compared to what he found in the mountains of Norwood. He had been researching a mysterious publication that spoke of a creature who lived near an abandoned cemetery. The text claimed the creature was once human, transformed by a curse centuries ago. Determined to find the truth, Elwin packed his bag, grabbed his flashlight, pulled up his hood, and set off into the cold forest. It was shortly before midnight when he reached the graveyard. The moon lit up the crooked tombstones, and the silence was heavy. Suddenly, he heard a rustling behind him. He turned and saw something, tall, thin, and in disguise. At first, he thought it might be a wild animal, but the way it moved was almost human. Could this be the creature from the legend? The next morning, Elwin spoke to the only inhabitant of the nearby village, a woman named Marta. She had lived there her whole life. "Don't go back there," she warned. "That thing is wicked. It's not just a story. It once starved a whole village, destroyed crops, and spoiled the rivers." Marta gave him a riddle, one her grandmother had told her. To break the curse, one must feed what cannot eat, what it cannot need. Elwin didn't understand it at first. But later, he remembered the word nourish. Maybe the creature was cursed to feel hunger but could never be satisfied. A punishment, perhaps, for the pirate who once ruled the land and betrayed his crew. Determined, Elwin returned with an offering, not food, but forgiveness. He stood at the center of the cemetery, speaking aloud the words of peace. The air grew still, the ground no longer smelled of rot. The creature appeared, and for the first time, it removed its disguise. It wasn't a monster, but a man, thin as a skeleton, with haunted eyes. The curse lifted, and he collapsed with relief. Elwin left the mountain with a new understanding. Not every adventure ends with gold or thrill, some end with a lesson. A lesson about mercy, memory, and what it means to be truly human. To console or to play, two meanings, one word. The word console has more than one meaning, and both are useful in everyday life. First, to console someone means to comfort them when they are feeling sad or upset. For example, if your friend just lost their pet, you might try to console them by listening, giving them a hug, or simply being there. In difficult times, a few kind words can console a person more than anything else. Some people don't know what to say in sad situations, but just being present can already help. As the saying goes, you don't need the perfect words to console someone, your care is enough. But console is also a noun. In the world of gaming, a console is an electronic device used to play video games. The most popular ones are the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. These consoles have become a big part of modern entertainment, especially for younger people. There's another technical meaning too. In cars, the console is the part between the driver and passenger seats where you often find the gearshift, cup holders, and storage space. In aircraft or control rooms, a console is a set of buttons and screens used to control systems. So whether you're trying to console a sad friend or playing games on your favorite console, the word always has something to do with giving support, emotional or technical. The power of a good grasp. To grasp something can mean two very different things. You can grasp an object with your hand, or you can grasp an idea with your mind. In the physical sense, to grasp means to hold something tightly. For example, when climbing a mountain, a strong grasp can save your life. If you slip, you must quickly grasp a rock or rope to stay safe. In everyday life, you might grasp someone's hand to show support or hold onto a bus rail when the vehicle starts moving. But the more common meaning today is mental. To grasp something means to understand it, especially if it's difficult. For instance, students often struggle to grasp new concepts in science or maths. It doesn't mean they're not smart, just that some ideas take time to fully grasp. Sometimes people say, "I can't quite grasp it," when they feel confused. Or, "Now I finally grasp what she meant," when they have an aha moment. A clear explanation, good examples, or personal experience often help us truly grasp something complicated. Whether we're talking about holding on with our hands or understanding with our minds, a good grasp is always useful. It means you're connected, either physically or intellectually, to something that matters.